Okay, hello everyone. My name is Tony Zioli, and I am the founder of Digital Strategy Works, a WordPress web development and digital strategy consulting company. I'm here today at Whole Foods in downtown Asheville doing my Facebook Live feed because I was just out and about dropping my son off to his play ball camp, and this is where I ended up. So, what we're going to talk about today is why we should not split our websites into two distinct different sites when we have e-commerce on as a function of our website, right? So I have a recent client who had come to me with their issue where they have a website and they have a Shopify site, and their website has all of their content on their site, their workshop calendar. It also has their blog. It has a lot of other information and resources that are very important to the work that they do. On their Shopify site, they link off their workshop pages to Shopify product pages, which really is duplicate information about the workshop. And then they hope that people will click on their links on their current site and jump over to Shopify and buy their workshops or their videos or trainings or whatever have you. So on both sites, on this site, on their content site and their Shopify site, they have a listing of all of their workshops, all of their videos, and all of their trainings. And then on their Shopify site, they have the same listings of all of their workshops, all of their videos, and all of their different trainings and certifications, right? So if you go to their website, you're going to see all that information once. And then when you click on to buy that thing, right, that you want to buy, you have to link over to Shopify, go to the Shopify page, right? And once you go to the Shopify page, you're there in Shopify, and you're now off of your website. So you have one domain of mydomain.com, then you have mydomain.shopify.com or whatever you want to call it, my shop at shopify.com, right? So now you're jumping someone from your site product page, right, over to Shopify to a product page there that's the same product page and has almost the same information. So that's one more click instead of just adding it to cart, right? So now you're saying, customer, I want you to look at this, jump over there, and then add this part to cart right now, when they could have added it to cart in WooCommerce on your current site, right? So if you had your product pages as WooCommerce pages in your WordPress site, then your customer is already in your site, can already add to cart, and can already check out without having to jump over to Shopify to see a similar or exactly the same information in a Shopify page. Now, the other thing is, for your workshops and your certifications, now the customer is over into the other site. You have to have the same content on both sites. So now what happens is, if you have your content on your marketing site and you update it, now you have to go over to Shopify and update your content on your e-commerce site, right? So now you're managing and maintaining two different sites, the same page on two different sites, and you're simply linking someone from A to B. When the reality is, you could have simply had one WordPress site with WooCommerce and had your product pages be linked to as your primary pages for that source information. Now you're going to have to update both sites. So that just creates more work for everyone, right? It doesn't really make sense. The other issue is, now you have two product pages in SEO, right? So now on your current website, on your marketing side, you have, okay, here are all my workshops, and here's a landing page for workshop A, right? Now I have my Shopify site, and I have the same workshop in Shopify. So now in Google, when someone's searching for that program, that workshop, they may find both links, one to your website and one to the Shopify site. Now, what sense does that make, right? So you're splitting your traffic, right? And instead of driving people into your website to build your traffic statistics, as well as more traffic equates to more authority, more trust, and Google is going to look at that traffic and that authority and trust and value that you provide to the end user and expertise that you provide to the end user on your WordPress page, but you split that in half now. Now people go to your WordPress page and or your Shopify page for the same product, right? And because it's on Shopify, you're not getting the SEO value from WordPress, from that product page in WordPress, right? That 100% value. You want to drive 100% of the people into WordPress. You want to build your site traffic in your WordPress site. And if you have a product page and a Shopify page for the same product, you can potentially be splitting your traffic and affecting your SEO ranking for that product or service, right? Because you're not driving everyone into your single source of information, right? So that is a very, very, very big issue, right? As people think, oh, shiny new object, I'll run over here and I'll do this thing, and I'll use this third-party tool because it's cool, because it says, but most of these things exist in WordPress. There are third-party plugins to handle much of anything that you want to do in WordPress itself, right? So just remember that when you're building your website, that you can accomplish a lot in WordPress with WordPress itself, as well as the theme or the plugins that you need to find. So here's another example. I have another client who have a financial services business lending small business loans to clients, and they wanted a landing page for their website. So they went out to one of these lead pages services, and they signed up for lead pages, and they built the exact same page that I had built for them at /business-loans with a form, with a reviews plugin, with all their reviews, with all the information. All the same information is exactly the same on their website landing page that's on this new lead pages landing page. And even if you cloak the subdomain, so say it's mysite.leadpages.com, even if you cloak that with in some way, shape, or form, right? You are not going to drive traffic into your site from that Google link, right, that you have in SEO, or if you're direct marketing through Facebook or Google AdWords or something like that. You want to drive people into your site. So you build your traffic. So you build your SEO. If you keep on driving people to external tools, Shopify, lead pages, HubSpot, all these third-party services, which are great depending on your needs, right? But I'm just telling you, the disadvantage is that you are taking traffic away from your own site. You are taking away the SEO value of your pages. You are reducing the impact of SEO by going out there and signing up for these shiny new objects and doing something that you could do in WordPress itself. So my advice is to really strategize and look at your website and look at what you want to accomplish. Instead of just going out and asking someone, to build your site on Upwork or some, low-cost site where you get some, overseas developers who really aren't going to solve your problem and are only going to serve to affect your site, because you're going to tell them, oh, I want WordPress plus Shopify, or I want WordPress plus lead pages, right? And they're not going to be the strategist like we here are at Digital Strategy Works, or I do through my TonyZillo.com, consulting, training, and coaching. They're not giving you the full strategy. They're just going to build what you want instead of telling you how it's going to affect your overall web presence, your overall strategy of driving interest to action and then conversions. The other issue that I'll bring up with having two sites is just that, having two sites. When someone links off from the old site to Shopify, how do they get back, right? So you have to start building in all these kinds of ways to say, go back over here to see more information about this, or you have to have exact duplicate content, which can be problematic in terms of Google's mind, because you don't want penalties for duplicate content on different sites, right? I'm not saying that you're going to absolutely have a penalty, but it could potentially happen if you have exact duplicate content on your WordPress site that you have on Shopify, and it's the same, coming from the same company, these kinds of things, right? So you have to watch out for that too, right? So you have a couple of issues, right? Is one, if it's not all integrated, right? You're taking, you're paying for WordPress and then you're paying for Shopify, and you're trying to have two of the same kinds of pages, a landing page over here and a product page over there, and you're trying to link between both, and that just becomes a huge issue, right? In terms of cycling people through your website to get them to add products to cart. So what do? You add WooCommerce to your WordPress website. You put your products and services in the WooCommerce bucket. And one of the things that we're doing is with the event calendar is putting workshops in the event calendar and using their Event Ticket Plus plugin to then create a WordPress product for that event, so that they can then shop in WooCommerce for those events, right? And add other things like trainings or a t-shirt or whatever have you to the same cart and check out right there on WordPress through WooCommerce and Stripe, right? Instead of sending them to Shopify, having them be over at Shopify and do all these kind of, I was here, now I'm over there, now how do I get back? And I'm splitting my traffic, and that's affecting my SEO, right? The other thing we just talked about is, the transactional component, right? How much does it cost for Shopify? How much is it, per month? If you can avoid that cost and do your WooCommerce, then you're going to be paying less per month on a monthly basis than having Shopify, when you could really just have WordPress and WooCommerce do that thing, right? Or one of my other clients has WordPress and lead pages. Well, you could have a landing page on your WordPress site. There's no reason to use lead pages if you have a form builder and you have content and a video and whatever. You can just say, here's my site / here's my lead page, and you can style it differently. You can maybe remove the header or whatever with different themes that we have today. And there's all kinds of ways to slice the pie, but do it in WordPress. Don't split your traffic and split your conversions and split your SEO, right? The other thing is maintenance and and updates, right? How are you going to maintain 2, 3, 20, 60 pages across two sites when you can really just maintain it all on one site and save yourself time, energy, and money, right? So that's what we do here at Digital Strategy Works, right? We strategize with our clients to find out what the real solutions are for their business, right? Instead of just tacking on new services and having our clients spend X dollars a month to have lead pages or to have Shopify or to do to build in 3 or 4 different other products when they can have it all in WordPress, predominantly for either free or low cost, right? Where maybe the plugin is just a one-time payment instead of a monthly fee or something like that, right? So come, if you have some issues and you're looking to have a strategist help you and guide you in building your site with e-commerce like we're doing for our client today, then please, get in touch with us. Let us know what your situation is. You can just go to tonyzioli.com for WordPress coaching and training and consulting, or you can come to digitalstrategyworks.com and we can do a quote for you and come up with ways that you can better integrate all these tools into one system. So that way you can track one system, have one end goal, and have one process and project to manage over time, instead of splitting yourself between sites and then splitting the economy of that. I've got to pay now for lead pages, I've got to pay now for Shopify, when I could have done all of that in one WordPress site at a reduced cost. Yes, the integration takes a little bit of a spend, but over 6 months, over a year, over 2 years, over 3 years, obviously it's going to cost less to do it in your site. Plus, you're going to get all the Google Analytics traffic, right? Tracking and traffic under that one domain. You're going to get all the SEO value from Google under that one domain. You know, when you split and say, okay, I want to measure my Google Analytics with Shopify, then you're going to have to set up a whole new Google Analytics account for that Shopify site. Now you have 2 Google Analytics, and you have 2 Google Webmaster Tools or Search Console, or 2 Bing sites. You know, it's really becomes problematic in terms of managing. So my advice to you as a small business owner is to really think about what you're trying to accomplish before you jump in to start tacking on third-party services at subdomains to solve a problem. And all those problems could really be solved in WordPress themselves. Once again, TonyZeoli.com, TonyZeoli.com, or digitalstrategyworks.com. Reach out to me right here through Facebook. I'm happy to chat, answer any questions about what it is that you're doing today that's not working for you in terms of that strategy, in terms of having a site here and then having subdomains out there and trying to connect between them and trying to close the loop. It just really doesn't work effectively or efficiently. Again, there are use cases and good reasons to use those third-party tools, right? Maybe you're a one-off event and you don't need a whole website. Maybe you just want a landing page. Or maybe you just want eCommerce and that's it, and you don't want a marketing site, right? So you go to Shopify. But when you're trying to combine WordPress and Shopify, or WordPress and Lead Pages, or WordPress and some learning platform, you could do LearnDash or something like that. Here's where you just get into the larger issues of not aggregating them into one system and providing and supporting one system. All of a sudden you're supporting multiple systems, and it's going to cost you more. It's going to introduce issues that you didn't realize were issues in the first place because no one told you, and you're not really trained to know that they're issues, right? And so that's really the nuts and bolts of it. You know, come to us, digitalstrategyworks.com, TonyZeoli.com. Leave a message right here on Facebook, WordPress for Small Business page, or in our WordPress for Small Business group. We're happy to chat and talk you through some of your issues and see how we can help. So again, every Tuesday morning at 11 a.m., I come on here on the WordPress for Small Business page to help small business owners understand what they're doing with WordPress, how they can grow with WordPress, and how they can increase business, how they can generate revenue, how they can get and grab and retain leads and market to those leads. Those are the kinds of things that we're working on here at Digital Strategy Works and with WordPress for Small Business. So thank you very much for tuning in today. We are also on YouTube as well, so this video will be shared to YouTube and be posted to the TonyZeoli.com blog. So we hope to see you next week at 11 a.m. where we'll have a new topic for discussion, and maybe we'll be in a quieter space, but I think for all intent and purpose, Whole Foods served us well today. We've got Wi-Fi, when last week my Wi-Fi was cut off because we lost power due to a local storm, which was kind of interesting. So good to be out here in the public sharing our knowledge with WordPress and for small businesses, and hope to see you next week at 11 a.m. Thank you.